Hello everyone, it is Justin here on Lag Free, and I am a huge hockey fan, so I'm very excited for this be a GM mode right here with my favorite team and my hometown team, the Columbus Blue Jackets. I feel like every single season on this game, they're kind of underrated on the potential side of things with some of their players. However, this year, after making the playoffs last year and everything else, they look really, really good. We'll see what we can do with them. I'm going to make them a lot like, they were last year and keep on building on that same sort of identity. But, yeah, I'm pretty stoked for this. We're going to be the Blue Jackets. As you can see, the top players are Bobrovsky, Jack Johnson, and Ryan Johansson. The team's salary is $57,515,000. And we have 22 players in the organization with the average age of 26, so we're still a relatively young team, and we shouldn't have to really sell off older players for quite a while. That's kind of exciting for me because I'm always the type of person who likes to take a young team who's maybe not as good as they could be and build them over time. The Blue Jackets are already a playoff team, so now it's just time to make them into a Stanley Cup team, and hopefully I'll be able to do that with not only me being behind the controller, but hopefully with your help if you choose to give me advice here or there, or, let me know some things. So we're going to pick the Blue Jackets here. We have the overview. We have the salary cap on, because I like things to be, as legit as possible. We're going to go through the rules here. Penalties, yes. Auto-sign free agents, no. The length looks like 25 is the most. We're going to keep that on. Computer trades, yes. The difficulty, superstar. I may not be the best player on this game, but I feel like I'm good enough to where I can make, superstar games really, really good, and I can still win games. Authentic draft pick ownership, because it needs to be authentic. This is simulation style, so that's why the game style is simulation. I'm not going to go hardcore because I can get a little ridiculous at times, but if simulation isn't hard enough for me eventually, or if you really want to see hardcore, then I'll put on hardcore. It's all up to you guys. And did you guys notice the little security guard or whatever there on the right hand side? It's kind of weird. I just noticed that. Okay, injuries on, salary cap on, period length. I'm going 7 minutes. I feel like it gives more opportunities for the fourth liners and the third liners to come onto the ice more often. And I think it's overall better to have a little more girth inside of each game. Trade difficulty, I'm going to keep it on medium for now. We'll see how that goes, if trades are getting too easy or if I'm building a team too easily through throwing draft picks here and there and stuff like that. I'll put them up on hard and, make it kind of really ridiculous for trades, like where I basically have to give away the farm for something that's not even that great. We'll see what happens, but I've always heard medium is good, and that's how I've always had it on all the games. Waivers, we're going to keep that on. Let's look at the rules. Fighting's good spot. Hybrid icing, yep. Delayed offsides, yep. Penalties, penalty calls, seems about right. Scaling looks good because then it's not the full 2 minutes. But if you guys want the full 2 minutes, I'll put it on there. I don't care. Post whistle rules, authentic. I don't want people pushing and shoving and not getting any calls, and hopefully that'll stop that. Even though usually I'd be the one who's starting that, but whatever, right? Advanced settings, coach edit lines, minimal. That way I can, tell it when to do it, basically. Rotate goalies on. Perfect. Playoff series, yep. All the usual stuff. Gameplay version, latest, waiver, yep. Okay, so those are the rules. We're going to go ahead and back out of that. Everything looks to be set. We are the Blue Jackets, and it is time to start the career. We're going to keep the salary cap on. They're going to have to make some of the teams cap compliant, I'm guessing, because that's how it goes for all of these GM modes, because you have teams like the Philadelphia Flyers who signed Pronger to a $1 million deal at $10 million a season, it feels like, and they're still paying that because he only worked out for a year or two, or at least it felt that way to me. Alright, so there's a new interface on this game this year. It's even different than the Xbox 360 version. I have not played GM mode on this game yet, so this is the first time for me as well as the first time that I've ever done this on YouTube. So what we're going to do is we're going to look around here. I don't know if we're going to get a game in on this actual video. There may be more of an introduction, but the first game will be coming. I'm going to tell you that it'll probably be out maybe the next day after this, if possible. So and I will play the opening night game against Buffalo. Actually, yeah, I'll play that first game, and I might even play opening night at home as well. And then after that, I'm planning on going with one game a week. That way we can kind of build on the bigger matchups, and it'll keep things moving a little quicker than what it could if I was playing 82 games a season. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at the managed rosters right now. We're going to take a look at what we have. Look at our current lines. We can change them here and there. Personally, I'm going to go with the lines that I would like to go ahead and set up the lines the way that I would have them, because I might be a little different than some other people, okay? So, one line that I loved last season was Horton, Johansson, and Jenner. However, this year, I don't feel like Jenner is the first line guy in this career mode. He's still not there, but he can be eventually. Hartnell, not the first line guy that I want either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move Foligno up to the first line. He has a very high potential of top 6 forward. He's already there. He is going to be swapped out with Hartnell. Hartnell will move into the second line. With that, I'm going to switch. Actually, no. I'm going to switch Atkinson and Jenner, because I like Jenner on that second line with Doobie and Hartnell. It'll be a very hard line to play against for a lot of teams, and they're going to be really, really, really like heavy on the boards and everything else. Like, it'll probably be one of our shutdown lines as well, mainly because Dubinsky is just a dynamo when it comes to that sort of thing. He may not be the best offensive player, but damn it, he's really good. The third line I really like. Anisimov, tons of skill. Atkinson and Calvert, two guys who are small, but they never give up, and they're both young still. They can both become better players than what they are now. Atkinson has a medium potential of the top 6 forwards, so you could be looking at an 84, 85 overall eventually. We'll see. Calvert, he's only projected top 9, but that's also medium, so you never know what can happen. But he's another great player who really works hard. Last line, we have Letestu, D'Amigo, and Jared Bull. Let's take a look at what we have scratched, because see if there's anyone else who should be in there instead. Okay, so Gibbons and Trop. I'm going to go ahead and bring in Trop, and that's only personal bias because I really like Corey Trop as a player. He's a big body. He's young still, and he's more talented than what you would think. So I'm gonna give him a shot. If he's not doing anything, then I can bring in D'Amigo. I can bring in Gibbons. Both of them could be, spark plugs for our system. So those are our starting lineups for offense. I'll go ahead and go through each of these players here, just slowly, so you can kind of see their stuff here. I'll even do their stat page, attribute page, and then we'll go through that. And then if there's anything you want to look at, a little closer, you can pause the video for a second there and take a look at what we have here. Because you know what, you guys are gonna give me a lot of good advice, I believe. So, here's the test two, and then Bull. Going back up to Foligno. Okay, so we're gonna go to our defense now. Our defense works out as Jack Johnson. I like Tootin better than Wisniewski there, so we're going to quick swap them, because Wisniewski and Murray really worked well last year, and I'd like to keep it that way. Wisniewski he's got a high ranking in this. Like, I personally think he's a good player, but 86 is pretty high. I guess it's mostly for that shot that he has, because it's a rocket, but sometimes he's cut out of position and stuff like that. as well. So we have Murray, of course. He's got a medium potential of being a top 4D, but I have a feeling that he could be elite, and that will put him, 87, 88 overall, something like that. We have Dalton Prout and David Savard as our last two. Savard could end up becoming a top 4 defenseman, so he could still get better. Prout is probably going to stay, 80 at the most, maybe. I don't believe we have any other defensemen who are scratched. But, okay, yeah, so we don't. But I will fix that because I'm going to call someone up most likely, or sign a player to be that 7th guy. Because injuries are going to happen, we all know that. So I'll go ahead and go through here, show you each of the profiles, the attributes, so you can all take a look at them. I'm pretty excited though to get this started because this team has every ability to become almost a dynasty type team if the right things happen. So we will see. But yeah, there's that. Okay. So what we'll do is we're gonna look at obviously our goalies are the last things to look at. Bobrovsky, the #1 cop on the force. He's a hybrid goalie, medium of being elite, but he's already elite. He's a 90 overall, the best player on this team, and it makes sense because he truly is the best player on the Blue Jackets most nights. He did have a little bit of a rough playoff at times, and he isn't always consistent, but in a big game, there's very few goalies I'd rather have than Sergei Bobrovsky. And Bobrovsky we trust here in Columbus, that's for sure. The other guy we have is McElhaney. He's our backup. 80 overall. That's not bad, really. I mean, he could get a little better, even at 31. He could get up to a NHL starter, which I'm guessing would be between 82 and 84. But, yeah, he's a good backup. He'll do what we need him to do, which is good. And then that is it when it comes to our lines. So there's that. We're going to go ahead and look at roster moves because, like I said, I wanted to call up a defenseman possibly. Let's take a look at in the system here. So Winberg is in there, which 70 overall, that's grossly underrated. But, I'm not going to go into that too much. So we have Frederick St. Denis, Larry Merlart, Eriksson. That's probably the guy. Yeah. And you know what? I'm actually probably going to start Eriksson over Prout, mostly because Eriksson is, I feel like Eriksson is one of those guys who should be a starter, and he can only get better. Where Prout, I think he's kind of, even though he's still young, I feel like he's kind of like, topped out. He's a little bit of plateau, So, we're going to substitute him for Tim Eriksson. There we go. Yes. Okay, I like that much better. Savard and Eriksson, a good young pairing right there. Both 23 years old. Like I said, overall, we got a young team. We can really go places. And this could be, our top 4 here could be the top 4 that we have for at least 3, 4, 5 years possibly, depending on how long Tootin and Wisniewski end up staying at where they're at. Let's see here. So we're gonna go ahead and look back into our system here. I'll give you a good look at what we have here in the cabinet, the so-called cabinet. We'll sort these overalls. So Dana Terrell is our top guy right this second. He is still a relatively young player, but he's not quite where we need him to be. Michael Chaput, another good minor league center. Ryan Craig, a great veteran. Sean Collins, Cody Goluboff, which I think he's a little bit underrated. Simon Halmerson, I believe it is. He's one of our newer guys. Yeah, Simon Halmerson. We just signed him from overseas, so I hope he does well. This kid right here, Oliver Borkstrand, he has the ability to be amazing. Look at that potential. Medium to elite. This kid, in a few years' time, could end up being an 86, 87, 88, 89, somewhere in there. Just imagine him playing with Ryan Johansson, Ryan Johansson, who will be, he's probably going to be a little better than what he is now at that time, and he'll be more matured and everything. Bjorkstrand is probably going to be a future first-line player for us. While Horton's overall goes down a little bit from being a little older, Bjorkstrand will come right up there. And I mean, sure, his defense is shoddy at best, but if you just look at his skills right now and the poise being low, the kid is talented. Like, he's talented enough to probably do pretty well in the AHL right now, to be honest. So, that's a kid that we're going to look out for the future. Alexander Wennberg, grossly underrated. Bottom 6 forward, low potential. I don't get it. He's probably one of our most polished, draft picks for years, that we actually have in our system right now. And he might make the team in real life, but because this is his version from being overseas and only getting so many points and stuff, that's kind of what you get with it. Let's see, there's Millard again, Will Weber, Kirby Reichel, another kid. We got in the same draft with those guys. High potential of a top 6 forward. This could be our left wing in the future. We'll see what happens with him, but I really like the type of player that he is because he's physical, he gets into tough areas, and he scores goals. Plain and simple. I love that. Czar, Anderson, Sedlak, Oliver Gabriel, Larkin, Medieski, and that is it when it comes to that. Let's take a look at our goalies just to see what we have in there. Oscar Dansk, of course. Freaking awesome. Anton Forsberg, I believe it is. Yeah, Anton Forsberg. I say some of these I kind of forget the first names with them a little bit, but I know who they are. He could be an NHL starter. Let's look at Dansk. Another guy. Could be an NHL starter. He's got a very high potential, so he's probably going to be it. Look at Elvis. Look at Elvis. He's a minor starting league goaltender. Like, who would have thunk that he would have came in and possibly been the starting goaltender in the minor leagues right now? This kid may end up becoming something special, or he may end up becoming a backup like it says. We will see. And then Korpisalo, which I believe he was at the rookie camp, and he looked pretty decent as well. I think we have good goalies in the system overall. All these kids are young. They're all from the draft. So I'm really hoping we can, do something with them over time, because eventually Bobrovsky will need, a second in command. He will need someone to ride in the cop car with him who can really shut the door when he can't play or when he's tired, that sort of thing. One thing you could have seen up at the top as well there is it said we had like $9 million in cap room. That gives us a lot of room to do stuff. So we'll see what happens. Injury report, progress reports. We'll look at the progress reports just to show you kind of how it works, but it'll kind of tell you like average time on ice, games played, how much the attributes have changed and everything else over the season. We'll take a look at that periodically, probably not every video because it won't be that big of a difference, but maybe like the quarter of the season, half the season, 75%, and then at the end we'll kind of see who's moving up and stuff like that. Let's look at the captain and jerseys. One thing that I know that really bugs me is Hartnell had the wrong number, but it looks like that's been fixed because he's now at number 43. Because at first they had him as number 91. Who does he think he is, Sergei Fedorov? I mean, seriously. I think the numbers are actually correct right now. I'm not sure what Gibbons picked, but that might have been what he picked. I haven't heard anything on that front. Yeah, I think we're good on that. Looks like Johnson is an assistant captain. Dubinsky is our captain, apparently. Let me see if I can just assign another alternate. Just make him an alternate. Yeah, we're just going to go 3 alternates right now. We're not going to choose a captain, much like the real team. But, as the season goes on, or as seasons go on, and we, move on and stuff like that, we may end up picking a captain, and if we do, there's a pretty good chance that Brandon Dubinsky is going to be that guy because, he's heart and soul, man. I love it. He's the heart and soul of this team. manage the budgets. We have the offer sheet stuff. We don't need to worry about that. View contracts. We can take a look at what we have to go with here. Like I said, 9.743 cap space. That's damn good. Buyout penalty. We bought someone out. I'm guessing it's... actually, I'm not really sure who that buyout penalty is for, but that's alright. Whatever. Bobrovsky ends 2015-2016. He's making a lot of money, and he's going to continue to make a lot of money as long as he keeps playing the way he is. Johansson, another one. RFA. Right now, in real life, he hasn't been signed yet. But I have faith that he'll be signed soon enough. And in this game, trust me, he will be signed. Don't you worry about that. Foligno, he'll be a UFA in 2015-16. I'm most likely going to keep him in the system for sure. We have Letestu, Calvert, guys who are going to be ending sometime soon. But trust me, most of this core group I'm going to keep in our system. Don't you worry about that. I don't want to change the team completely. I don't want to totally upend everything we have unless we absolutely have to. At the end of the day, this team was built the way it is for a reason. Kekalainen has done amazing, and I hope to just continue that sort of thing as we go on. Let's see here. We have 6 unsigned rookies apparently. Don't know who are unsigned rookies. Like I said, I haven't really looked through this at all. So we have Hetherington, who hasn't been signed yet, but he probably should be, because he's a good defenseman. Quinville, Motre, Peltier, Stiebenaller, LeBlanc. Alright, so right now we're going to wait on those guys. I may sign Hetherington, and I may sign Quinville, possibly. But I'm going to wait a little bit and see how it goes. At the end of the day, as long as they keep improving, I totally want them. Okay, so that covers that part. Look at the league thing. You have the league settings. Everything we already went through. I don't think there's anything different there. And then save file. So we're going to do that before we mess anything up, because I know things can go completely awry sometimes. So let's see here. One thing I did notice about this game though is I feel like there's a good amount of loading in a way. Like, that's just kind of weird that it goes black and then saves instead of something else, you know what I mean? The activity feed, nothing there. Okay, so the hub. We'll take a look at the calendar real quick. Shows everything here. The teams that we have set up. There is no preseason. It just starts at the season. So you have that. And then one more thing that I'm going to show that I forgot to show before will be the trade, what's it called? Trade values. That's it. I'm going to show the trade values for the players on our team. That way you can kind of see, in case you want to make a trade, you can kind of see what each guy is worth on our team. I think it changes based on teams possibly, but I don't know for sure. The trade values, are they sorted? It looks like they are. Okay. So our top guy, obviously Jack Johnson and Johansson. Both of them are out there. I would think Johansson would be worth more based on his, his age and the fact he could get better. But look at Kirby Reichel. He has a high potential, and that makes him a very high target. For some reason, though, Bjorkstrand isn't that high, even though he has the elite potential. Probably because it's medium. So, who knows? You can kind of see, obviously, Murray. He's not going anywhere, trust me. Newski, Dubinsky, Hartnell, Horton, Foligno, Tootin, Anisimov, Bjorkstrand, Jenner, Savard, Letestu, and so forth. After that, it's the smaller guys. And it's not that they're bad or anything. It's just guys who have, small trade value, who are just more so throw-ins, which is crazy that Winberg is that person, but I'll get off that. We'll take a look at the goalies real quick to show you that. Bobrovsky, crazy trade value. It's damn good, okay? Dansk is our next best trade value because he has a high ability to be a starter, which means that he's probably going to be our backup of the future very soon. Yeah, so there's that. Let's see. Scouting works a little different this season, apparently. But I haven't really gone through and done a whole lot. So, we'll edit the scouting assignment for now, because I don't know what exactly we're going to get out of some of these places. So what we're going to do is we're going to start in the OHL. It's always a good starting spot for me. We're going to do forwards for a month. So we're going to get hopefully some, some good players will be looked at, including, of course, Connor McDavid. Okay? The most likely number 1 pick. The only thing that sucks is that Jack Eichel isn't on the game as far as I know, because he's playing in the U.S. Development system, and they don't have a team on this game, which really sucks. I wish it'd be like FIFA where they could just kind of add it in the other side or something, so that they can add some of these U.S. players and players from other countries who aren't a part of a league that's already on this game. That'd be a really good idea, EA, just so you know. We'll look at the free agents just so you can get a peek at what's available, I guess. But I probably won't be really purchasing any free agents unless it's something that we really need. I like our depth and everything right now, so that shouldn't be something that comes up that much. But this is the free agent list as of now. In real life, things may have changed. I don't know. There hasn't really been a roster update in the last couple days, but this kind of just shows you who's available here. Daniel Alfredsson's always a good pickup, even though he's older than dirt. And Ryan Jones, Whitney, yeah. So, and kind of see some of these guys who are available. Obviously, Saku Koivu is has retired, so he wouldn't usually be there, but he is right now. It's kind of a lot of older guys, man, but they could be just the right guy for your team. You just never know. Hey, look, Jordan Tutu. Wouldn't that be funny, him being on the Blue Jackets? Anyway, that's only for like Blue Jacket fans to really like get into, because he was pretty much the bane of our existence when he was in Nashville. Trust me on that. He hasn't been as annoying since he went up to Detroit. Okay, so that shows you some people who are available. We'll also show some goalies here. Brodeur, obviously, Tim Thomas, Thomas Vokoun, Hobby Bullen. Why am I trying to say Ka? I don't know that it's a frickin' silent letter. I've been watching Hobby Bullen for years. What the hell is wrong with me? Yeah. So there's some guys here. So yeah, I think this may be where I end this video. Like I said, I wasn't going to put any sort of gameplay in this video, but look forward to Columbus versus Buffalo within another day or two, something like that. I hope you all can get into this with me, and I hope all of you comment and like the videos and stuff like that, and always be sure to let me know what I can do better, and I will always try to work on it. I'll always try to give you content that you want. If you guys want to see more games and more games and more games, I can give you that. If you guys want to see me play Ultimate Team, I can do that. All in all, just I hope you enjoyed yourself, and thanks for watching. And like I said, look for the next video in a few days. See you later. Bye-bye.